Hello, guys. Welcome back to Star Citizen podcasts. This one is about Gamescom. I am Logic, and this is Obsessite.
Hello.
And we'll be just trying to go through the Gamescom basically presentation and maybe a couple of the features or interesting things from Gamescom day 1, day 2, maybe day 3. I don't know. It'll probably be just mostly day 2 because most of the interesting stuff occurred on day 2.
Yeah, it was
So
pretty good overall.
you enjoyed it then?
Yeah, it was good. I had to watch all of it after I'd finished work because it was on during the day
Mm-hmm.
over here. But what I saw, I was impressed with. It was much better than last year.
Really? I don't know. I was kind of eh, it was kind of lackluster in most respects compared to last year. I think last year was the bigger reveal because it was procedural planets. But um, the tech was amazing during the presentation. I loved the tech that they displayed, and um, the environments were phenomenal. And overall, I think it's shaping up to be a really amazing, truly groundbreaking game. But whether we'll see it in the next 2 years is a debatable. So
Yeah. I think my comment really is there about overall. I think when you take like the 4 days, including today, of the actual streaming to Twitch from the floor,
hmm
as well as what we actually saw in the presentation, it was higher quality than what we saw last year. But then, of course, they've had a whole year to get it higher quality, so what kind of expected it really.
yeah. Well, I guess we'll just kick off with the video. Okay. So I've got a cut version of the Gamescom trailer put with basically where it's sort of cut together with so that there's no crash basically. So
Hmm.
that it just flows from where they crashed, then you just pick up from where they carried on. So um, so we'll just go for there. So basically, I really like this actually. The contextual buttons to open the door. I think that's really cool. Um, I think I was like, oh, awesome! Just like a movie or something. That you just slap the door and the door opens.
Yeah, exactly. It shows the new 3.0 contextual or the inner thought system. It's basically far and away what we've got now in 2.6.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff in this build. I mean, this is the actual 3.0 build apparently. Um, so, oh, second, hang on a second, my uploads might be having some issues here. I think I'll do that. I think that'll fix the problem.
Hmm.
So this basically is Chris going over the
what we showed last
the
year.
MOBA
The home
glass.
screen.
Yeah.
Into the new 3.
So this is the home screen for the MOBA glass. It looks pretty good overall, I would say. I mean, it's very smartphone-ish with the apps down below. Sort of, you could see this being something that people might use in the future.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've probably all seen that fan image where they put like the Samsung Galaxy logo on the Mobi render that they shared a while back.
Hmm
But yeah, it does look legit, doesn't it?
It
As
does.
if it's something that we could actually see in the future if this, Microsoft HoloLens really does pick up and they find a way of just, casting it to the air, if you like.
Yeah. Okay. So then he goes and explains there's the atmosphere composition right there. You have nitrogen 78.1, oxygen 20.9, CO2 0.004, 0.04, and then argon and a bunch of other gases. Why do they include the argon? It's a bit strange, but anyway. So yeah, whenever you enter an atmosphere of a planet, that would change based on the atmosphere outside. Say you're on an acidic planet, maybe tons of sulfur in it and stuff like that, so you can know whether or not you can take your helmet off. I think that's pretty great.
Yeah, it's awesome. And they said down the bottom there where you've got the suit status, he's not wearing a suit right now. So obviously the suit oxygen is red at 100% because the mobiglass isn't connected to a suit. But that'll be good to see all that as well when you're out there moving around. You'll be able to use the mobiglass to see just how much you've got left to judge whether you have to peg it back to your ship or whether you can get to an outpost.
That
instead.
concerns me. That does, though. I mean, I have that in No Man's Sky, where basically, you know, your environment suit is sort of, and then you're kind of like limited in sort of distance you can go. I guess you have to like have a Ursa or something, because I don't think the Nox has a oxygen tank, does it? Like that you can use?
No. I mean, I expect the Ursa does, but in the Gamescom demo, it doesn't seem to have an atmosphere in it because I think it was Gamble died when he went in there because he almost ran out of oxygen, and he went in the Ursa and it didn't actually have.
So your ship is the only place you can replenish your oxygen supply.
Well, maybe. I mean, you're probably going to have different. What's the word? It's different types of suit can go longer. So the exploration suit, the RSI exploration suit we saw, is probably going to have more longevity. That's the word I was looking for. Than your standard UE marine armor, because it's designed for exploration, and therefore you're going to be out on the planet. And obviously, Prospector grade armor would probably have more air tanks or bigger ones, because obviously you're going to have to go out there to try and fix things if your laser stops and what have you.
Yeah,
you don't have to keep going back to your ship. So, and you probably can have external canisters to actually use to replenish as you go along.
Hopefully, because I don't really want Star Citizen to turn into a survival game where like you constantly have to just figure out whether or not you can make it to the location, and then if you don't, you end up dead. That kind of annoys. One of the biggest problems I have with No Man's Sky is like your oxygen tanks last like maybe 10 minutes, maybe. I mean, in real life, they go outside and the oxygen doesn't last 10 minutes. They have more than 10 minutes oxygen in their tanks.
What, you mean the astronauts?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got a massive environment suit on their back.
Yeah, well, even so, if you can last more than 10 minutes underwater with just a small tank on.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a bit gamified right now because it's alpha. But I expect it would be longer. And obviously, they did demonstrate that the heavier your armor, the less time you're going to have, because you're going to be exerted more moving around in it. And if you run, that uses your air quicker. So if you're careful, you could probably...
Oh. I think he's gone. I think he has officially gone. Oh, Chris is back. Hold on. Let me see if I can get him back. Well, that was a epic fail there. Let's see if we can video call him back in. I think his game crashed or his computer crashed. It must be. Nothing. Well, let's just
basically
so
and delivered to Port Olisar. So
let's watch this
between
video a second while I'm waiting for him to come back.
Trading, where you can buy commodities in one location, take it to another, and sell it. There's a whole sort of beginning of a dynamic economy that
there he
we
is.
can run. So
my Skype crashed. That's probably the first time that's ever happened.
Okay.
And probably it was the words of wisdom. Skype couldn't handle it.
Probably. So yeah, we're just moving into Chris coming out of the mobile glass. He did mention that we would see the star map, but he never really showed it to us.
No, that was you're right. That was one of the things I was expecting him to show off. But
well, he said, "Oh, we'll show that later." And then I think the crash kind of screwed it all up for him. I think. Yeah,
I wonder if they're gonna record it as they wanted it to be, and then put it out on the website on ATV or something.
Yeah, hopefully they did that last for CitizenCon and for Gamescom last year. So, but it took like a week or something like that.
Yeah, they recovered well. It was obviously. A bit red alert, what's going on, and the mic, the off mic conversations we kind of caught were obviously quite heated. But they got past it.
Yeah. It's I did like the that refill, and I like that, and it was very simple and basic, and there's no overcomplication. It was just like refill, rearm, rearm, and stuff like that, and you can do that anywhere in the landing zone. It would appear, you know, you could just bring it up and say, I want to reload my ship, please, and not have to deal with sort of like going to a store and doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're short on cash, you can't afford to do it right now. You crew up on somebody else's ship, and they agree to give you, 10,000, UEC for a job. When you get back, or on the way back, you just refill your ship so it's ready for you when you get back. Yeah. This is pretty cool. This is the inventory or equipment.
It looks exactly like the ship customization, but yeah, it does look good. I mean,
the way everything layers is nice.
Yeah, that looks good. I think their system of like, this works better in here. The ship customization works better in here because there's no back button in the bottom left. Sometimes when I'm doing the ship customization, I don't use the one in the back arrow in the top left. I click the back button in the bottom, and then I end up going back out of the ship customization. So, yeah, I think it works better on the mobiGlas because there's no back button on the bottom, and it makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest, for all intents and purposes, we can chuck everything that we see in 2.6 out the window because it's all going to be different.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the ship customization in the Arena Commander will be the same, but I don't think they're making a whole lot of changes to Arena Commander. But we'll see.
Oh, yeah, true. I very rarely go into AC, so that's why I didn't think about that. This is cool.
It is. Hopefully, I wonder how they're going to do this sort of where you start. Like when I log on for 3.0 the very first time, will it be a completely random location with a bed, or will it be the same spot as everyone else's, and then we're all sort of bottlenecked?
I don't know. That's a good point. Maybe the first time everybody has to spawn into Olisar, and then what you do from there, it controls where you respawn next time you log in.
Because they're like, if everyone's on Olisar, then I guess everyone comes in at that one point and then spreads out and goes to Levski or whatever like that.
Yeah, I expect so. I mean, Levski's going to be pretty heavily populated because it's where all the surface action is going to happen in 3.0 initially.
Daymar is probably when all the surface action is going to occur. But
but obviously Levski is on Daymar, isn't it? Well, no, it's not.
No, it's in Delamar. So you got to remember these things, buddy. Delamar,
they're very,
Daymar,
very close.
They are very close. People get them mixed up all the time. Delamar is a planetoid. Basically a planetoid in a big asteroid field, whereas Daymar is a full-on moon next to Crusader, and it actually has an atmosphere. So they're two different things, but they sound very similar.
I don't think it's breathable, though.
No, it's not. It's the composition is not quite right for actual, but it has an atmosphere, which means you can have burning on re-entry and
pretty much what we saw during the Gamescom Twitch streams.
Yes, exactly. Here he's trying to show off his AI subsumption guy going to fix a maintenance patch, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know why a guy would be welding a computer console. But all in all, it's not terrible. You know what I mean? Seems like a bit random.
Maybe he's the worst thief ever. And he's trying to cut in to steal that person's money whilst he stood there. But anyway, it was good to see it.
No, it's good. I like to see AI. It's nice to see like people in the zone to make it feel like alive.
I think they said there's 200 AI moving around inside this demo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in Olisar, there'll be some too. I don't think there'll be quite as many as 200 because it's kind of a smaller place. But yeah, I mean, that big asteroid out the window looks pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, I mean, everything, the quality of what they've shown just blew me away, really. We all knew they'd come far, but this is better than I expected.
Do you think you'd be able to land on that 20-kilometer asteroid, which we said was about 20 kilometers in diameter? Do you think you'd be able to land on that thing? And
if he can find somewhere flat enough.
Well, you could always EVA down to it.
I expect you'd probably be able to do that, but unless they put some way of, anchoring you to it, you're just going to be floating about, around it. But I can't see any reason why not.
I mean, all big objects have mass and have some sort of gravity. So, I mean, it's just, Well, maybe.
Yeah, it might be like Armageddon. You never know.
Yeah, maybe you float away. Yeah.
Yeah. No, what I mean is you were able to stand. They were able to stand up and move about. You know, they just had to be very careful. They didn't get farted off.
Well,
into the
basically,
big
there's
one.
a size. I think there's a certain size of an object where you can jump and float off into space. And you know what I mean? The force of your jump is enough to propel you outside of the gravitational force of the object. Basically,
Yeah.
I think it's something like 2 kilometers or maybe 3 kilometers. So there is some gravity on that thing. But this is pretty cool. This bar. I mean, it looks the same, very similar to last time, but. Still,
The
it's nice.
lighting's way better.
It is.
Obviously.
The atmospheric lighting is pretty good. The fog, basically, which there was a bug there. Did you see that? What's his name wasn't there for the other guy?
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise, but they recovered quite well with that, considering. And it was kind of funny how they dealt with the fact that it was a girl doing the voiceover of the big black NPC.
Yeah.
Or player character, sorry.
We won't be seeing female models until 3.1. So.
Yeah, that's obviously why.
Yeah.
But I think Miles looked good.
Yeah, he did. He looks pretty tight. I mean,
No weirdness that we were seeing in the last 18 days.
The glass looks like it's staying in the same spot and not moving around, and the liquid's moving around, and that glass isn't inside his hand, and various other things. Yeah, the tech looks good overall. I think they're definitely. I think they're getting close, to be honest. I mean, the bugs that we see in this game are kind of like not really. I wouldn't call them blockers necessarily. I'd say like a couple of crashes. It's not really a blocker per se.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what they want to actually give out to the ETF, because it seems like it's going to go out to the Evocati first. Everybody, like Lando and Chris himself mentioned that once the bugs are squished, it'll go to the ETF first. So it looks like there is still going to go through the standard phases of testing.
It looks like it, yeah.
Despite the polish, they're still going to go through the extra Evocati stage, which is fine.
Well, for all you know, they might get it and be like, "Oh, well, it's pretty good." That's just a couple of days later, push to PTU. So if they're polishing to the nth degree and it ends up looking really tight, I think Evocati might be very short. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope so, because I think the limited or the purposefully limited build that they played on the show floor at Gamescom itself would have been fun for everybody to play. It looked like everybody had fun playing it, and it was great, But obviously, they can't really release that to the rest of us just as a stopgap, because someone will find a way to get past the restrictions.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they'll just sit in their ship and just push forward for like 2 days or something, just to get to one of the other moons.
Yeah. Well, someone would do it.
I know. Yeah.
Especially if they could get it to run in offline mode, because then you don't have to worry about the internet throwing a wobbly.
Face over IP.
Yeah, totally didn't see that coming. I was really impressed.
It's pretty neat, though. I gotta be fair. I mean, I don't know that I want to buy their specific camera per se, because I think my camera is pretty. I don't really want their camera is gonna have to be a really freaking good camera if I'm gonna use it for like.
They did explain
podcasts.
That it's not actually designed specifically for what we do right now. It's designed specifically to pick up the facial movements and actually transpose that into a game. So I don't think it's a webcam as well. At least that's how I took it.
I took it as it could be a webcam, because they're doing 60 FPS at 1080p. So I think it could be a webcam. I don't see the reason why it couldn't be a webcam.
Well, the technology is designed to do something other than be a webcam. It probably could be a webcam as well.
I think it probably is just a webcam, just at a specifically higher resolution. I don't think it's any software that's going to be linked to I don't think it's a unique device. I think it's just a high-end webcam that they put their little label on, I think.
Yeah, it's more than that. I can't find the notes that I made for it. I lost them. But some of the tech they put into the camera for specifically so it can detect facial movements in low light. That sort of stuff is designed specifically for their product.
There are cameras that can do good detection in low light too. You know what I mean?
No, I'm sure there are, but I'm just trying to make the point that this technology isn't designed to be a Star Citizen webcam. It does a bit more than that.
Right. Well, this is pretty cool. The further away you get, the quieter the audio gets between.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then it gets closer and gets louder. And so yeah, that is a pretty neat. But I'm assuming that you won't be able to hear everyone around you. That it'll only be people within your group that you'll be able to talk to.
Yeah, I can imagine so, because that'd be a nightmare.
It would be, because like you did run past and you'd hear a 13-year-old child like screaming or something like that.
Well, yeah, because if they're playing, if somebody's mum's playing it, when the kids they're playing Tilly, like a 7-year-old, imagine Bronner's in the background. Imagine how much that would be really annoying to somebody. Yeah, blah blah blah. I'm trying to do a bit of RP, and then all of a sudden, I want a drink. Daddy comes to the other side. I guess some people.
So yeah, I think it's going to be restricted to 2 groups, and I don't think it'll be sort of like you'll be able to like talk to anyone randomly walking past. Maybe you would. I don't know, but.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. It would. I would hope that you can limit it so that only the people you group with.
Yeah. I hope so.
But if you're not in a group, you probably get to hear everybody who is also not in a group, because they're not bound to the group.
You could just turn your mic off.
Oh, yeah, sure. But then people who actually have it on.
Yeah. Well, that's possible. Then it would be really people could annoy you then.
Yeah, maybe they'll probably put a toggle in so that you can only receive that from people in your contacts list.
Yeah, I think that's probably the wise choice. Otherwise,
that'd be the best way.
You'll end up with like people grieving you with like audio or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you get it now. I mean, I've played the odd round of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and people are obviously over on the open mic, unless you turn it off, which I've done it now. Playing porn through it. So you're waiting to actually jump out of the plane, and you've got all these groans going. I was like, that's not fun. It might be funny to a 13-year-old, but not when you.
Well, that's my point. That's my point. You know what I mean? Like, older people playing video games is slightly different than like 13-year-olds playing video games. But
yeah, exactly.
We get different things from it. But
yeah, and they tend to own us at COD because they got better reactions than we do.
Oh dear. So yeah, then is this where is this? Is this making a video call? Oh, this is just showing out the facial animations there. I'm gonna skip this part. I don't really. So this is basically showing how the tech works. Basically, it's pretty neat. It looks like the lip syncing is a little, it's not 100% yet at the moment, in my opinion. It doesn't, like the.
I guess it depends on what they've recorded of the particular actor whose face we're looking at. When the person on the other side of the camera, maybe they haven't got the movements exactly the same as what you're trying to do. The API will guess and do the best it can. Did
you see that the Track IR is not going to be very pleased today?
No, but there's lots of Track IR and free analogs. You can make it your own if you can buy a kit and make your own.
But my point is, like, it's going to be integrated into the webcam system, so that you won't need Track IR anymore, basically.
Yeah, I mean that was really cool. I was quite impressed with that because you don't have to worry about wearing a bulky VR headset and still get the whole looking around bit without having to put a hat on with a clip that Track IR.
Although I did notice that the Track IR, this system that they use, tends to disappear completely when you turn more than like there. Like, so it can't. The webcam is not picking up when you pass this point. So
yeah. No, that's fine. I don't really want to. I don't care if somebody's looking behind them.
So, whereas Track IR can look all the way behind you. So. Because it's like you attach something to a hat and then you can just.
Yeah, I almost bought one secondhand, but I thought, I don't play the games that use it.
Yeah. Well, okay.
But this does look good.
No, it does. I think people were giving it a way too harsh on the bugs front. I mean, I've seen buggier games released on Steam than this. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they say they've done a number of run-throughs without it throwing a wobbly, but everything happens when you test dev and show it to people live. You expect it, and they recovered as well as anybody can expect them to from the crash. But I'm not disappointed with what I saw. I think
No, I'm
that
not either. And I
I
think
think
they're
it's
closer than
what I
people
was
think
expecting.
for like Evocati. I think they are closer than they. I think it'll be probably mid-September that you'll get Evocati, from what I can gather.
Yeah, that's probably a good guess. But I mean, this is huge, and the amount of detail in this area itself in Levski is amazing.
No, I know it's good. Here we go. The weapons there, all highlighted
Yeah.
properly, and nice to see. She's going to buy a railgun, which looks pretty beastly, actually. I mean,
Did you notice that they used the shotguns until the cutlasses came after them?
Right.
So you only ever actually saw one person use the railgun, and it wasn't the person who made a point of buying it, because I think she was driving. Yeah, there's plenty of weapons there.
Yeah, there are.
It does look meaty though, that railgun.
It does. Although it seems almost as powerful as a ship weapon, but I guess it's like a shoulder-mounted ship weapon.
Yeah, I still think it'll probably take a few hits to take out a ship. You won't take one out in one go unless it's maybe you might take an Aurora out with one shot, but you wouldn't blow up a Cutlass as quickly as they did.
Maybe
in the
if you hit it in the right location, you might blow it up in one shot. Say you hit the engines or you hit something else. You know what I mean? So, but
yeah, if you hit the cockpit, you'd probably kill the pilots.
That would be an amazing shot. But yeah, oh, there's a dude. He's coming in to buy some stuff.
Yeah, but that was quite cool, though, wasn't it? Because I noticed that the player, I don't know whether they did that on purpose, but look, they were wary of the person wandering about. So I suppose unless you've got AR mode on your Moby Glass, you got people wandering about, you wouldn't necessarily know who are NPCs and who aren't if they're just walking about.
A gun restricted area anyway. If you look top right.
Yeah, sure. But what I'm saying is you got the other player character in front, and there's no way, apart from the fact they're obviously moving randomly, you wouldn't necessarily know the difference between a player and an NPC if they're just walking and
you could pretend
being smooth about it.
Move like an NPC, and then people will think you're an NPC, and then you'll sneak up behind them and shoot them in the head.
Yeah, very slowly.
Okay.
I'll do like the mouse wheel to change the
Yeah,
movement.
it is nice.
I think that's brilliant. That's
good.
a really, really good idea.
I think someone has done it before, but I think it's definitely. I've never seen it in an MMO before, but I've definitely seen
it's normally a toggle, isn't it? Walk or run.
Yeah,
that's it.
Right. Yeah. So here, there's something that Chris says which I found interesting. I'll try
Sorry, I cut you off.
see if I can play it for you guys.
Oh no, I was just listening to the woman.
Oh, don't talk to them.
Oh, their
They
role
just
playing
try
is
to sell you
terrible, isn't
things.
it? God.
Yeah, they did an okay
this,
job, but it was
Dumpers
jarring.
Depot is on
I
Levski.
would have preferred they
There's,
had just
there'll be
gone with
several
it.
other shop item
But
shops in 3.0
I'm 41
where
now.
you can buy various things like
I just came to see the game.
generators, coolers,
Listen.
power plants, and certain ones to upgrade your ships to make them better, because we have different grades of equipment with item
ready to go yet?
2.0. And you'll be able to buy ship weapons, and also at the various admin desks,
Glenn?
there's commodity kiosks and
ignoring
stuff.
me?
Just had a few new items in, so make sure to check them out.
Okay, come on now, Chris. Tell us the good news.
All right, should we go?
Oh, well, basically he says in 3.1 to be able to buy ships. So could potentially, I think that's what he said, but I couldn't find the location for that information. But
Well, yeah, we should probably go.
Also, use Alpha UEC to buy ships, and they
Yeah.
become persistent. You don't lose them.
yeah, until you reset.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool. I mean, it's got to come in at some point anyway, right? So
I'm already
Right,
done.
you
3.1
we
be
won't
pretty
be seeing
soon. I wasn't
3.1
expecting that till
We won't
later.
be seeing 3.1 until
What is that?
I'd say next
Exactly.
year
Agree with
probably.
you.
So
You don't think we'd see 3.1 by Christmas?
that'd be harsh.
You know, by
That would be
saying
hard
that,
to do. I think.
it's a bit hypocritical, don't
I mean,
you think?
I don't think we'll see 3.0.
Even with the
till
Delta
October.
poucher?
I don't think. Well, maybe by Christmas if they strip a few things out that they want to put in, because there's a lot of stuff they want to get in. Like they want to put Arc Corp in.
Oh yeah, that's
So I'm
true.
thinking, we get to the top lot.
So
That'd be that'd be a
Take the
pretty
rover.
big one to put in there.
So
Because they would have had to.
maybe I misheard or misunderstood it. That's probably true, but so they take it with a pinch of salt. Just check. I gotta watch that video again and try and find the location of it later. I'll see if they actually did say that. So hopefully they did, because that would be useful. Because I think that's the part that's when the game to me becomes sort of real, when you can buy your own ships. You know what I mean? So that's a game. You know, buying parts for your ships is cool and all, but then buying ships itself. Maybe you'll only buy certain ships, like the Aurora or, you know, a Hornet or something, like, you know what I mean? Not like you can't buy an Idris with it, or you can't buy like a Caterpillar, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, that Idris though. We'll come to that.
yeah, so let's just carry on.
Are we driving to jump?
So now this seems pretty big, this Idris, this Levski landing zone, doesn't it?
It's huge. I could get lost in there pretty easy, I would have thought. If you didn't know where you were going.
Okay. So now they're doing the role play rubbish.
Which you guys thankfully don't need to listen to.
Yes, thankfully. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, look, I mean, all respect to those guys. They did the best they could, and they were under orders to do it. But
yeah, but it was so wooden. It's like, if you're gonna get to do people to do role play just get actors to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just get.
Well, I think these guys would what they brought with them, so they may well be technical employees rather than paid voice actors.
Yeah, I'm obviously. Yeah, I mean, that's just a given. They're obviously not actors. Otherwise, they should just get out of their profession, in my opinion.
Shots fired.
But if they're developers, then yeah, I mean, that's perfectly understandable. And I don't think they should. I think they should it should have just been natural role play, not like scripted role play. You know what I mean? It should have. You know, I'm sure they could have their own banter. You know, people. I guess
they had to fill it, didn't they? They had to fill the silence so people knew what they were doing. So, you know, they telegraphed a lot of things, but that was for the viewer. Because again, Gamescom's really not necessarily for us. It's for people who haven't seen Star Citizen before. So some of the things they were saying to us were like, oh, really? Clang. But of course, the people who haven't seen Star Citizen before, it was like, oh, okay.
One of them would make a joke, and then 10 seconds later, the other person would go, yeah, that was really funny. And I'm like, come on, guys.
I think this is the Explorer, it's the Pioneer suit they're talking about here, which I don't think we've seen before.
No, it looks pretty good. I do like this. It could do with a little change. I think the equipment manager. I think it's a little difficult to sometimes see what you're selecting. I think there maybe like is there a way to like filter stuff? Like
I think there's like a slot, and then they were clicking the slot and then clicking the things that could go onto that slot.
Like a filter, just like armor stuff or like miscellaneous, like weapons, so that you know you don't have to like scroll down and find. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things there. If you could like filter them, that would be a more interesting.
I guess we'll find out when we get hold of it ourselves.
I like that pressurized cycling above the door. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it says it above the head as well, but you don't see it. And on those little panels there.
Explosive decompression is not in 3.0 as well. I noticed it's in 3.1.
That'll be a quick way of getting out of airlock.
Yeah. So no C4 charges on the airlock. Dear. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty neat landing zone. I'm really excited to go explore it.
It looks huge.
Do you think there's going to be outposts on Levski, or do you think it's just going to be a barren planet? Because I know there's outposts and crashes on all the 3 moons, but they haven't mentioned what's on Levski at all.
I mean, it looks like there might be one sticking on top there. But I don't know whether we can actually drive around the rim of the crater where this base is and get to it. I expect there'll be places you can go and have a look at.
Hopefully there'll be missions like, you know, the collection missions he was talking about earlier, where basically he said there's going to be millions of different combinations of missions and you should pretty much never get the same mission twice, sort of thing. But because there's like 26 different mission archetypes. Yeah, 26 mission archetypes that basically allow you to like collect from this location to bring to that location. So you know, and different types of things like medical supplies, drugs, weapons, and so no mission is ever the same necessarily, which is what
because they can combine different parts, couldn't they? They said in one mission, like making potentially millions of different ones.
Which once you've retrieved that black box, the black box gives you another thing to give you like a pirate base or something like that, which you go investigate, and you know what I mean. So there's sort of like a chain of events that can occur on a mission, which I think is pretty good.
Definitely, yeah. I love the detail that they've put in the Ursa. It really does look impressive.
It seems like from the other
from the other person's perspective,
tiny.
when the guy was getting in the seat, how everything was like folding out.
Yeah. I wish they had a bigger vehicle, like something that's like more meaty. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they'll come.
Like a cargo truck or something.
Yeah, I mean, the Ursa's the biggest ground thing we've seen. This was brilliant. The first time we've seen a player-to-player communication in the game.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Are you going to make a guy that looks like you, and I'll make a guy that looks like me?
Yeah, why not?
And then it's like,
No,
hey,
but I think the good thing about it is it's like instant gym and weight loss training. So I can do the face, but the body's going to be like I've been going to the gym every day for the last 3 years, which I obviously haven't been. So yeah, I'll try. I tried it in Elite Dangerous, and it's quite hard to do.
I think you have more. There'll be maybe not initially, but I think later on there'll be more flexibility in terms of facial setup.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool. I mean, I do like the. What was it? Face over IP. I wonder if there's a an official. I've forgotten what it is now. Oh, never mind. I think they call it. I think it's the ETF as well. Like you've got like all of the standard protocols that we use in IT have got an official designation, right? Mm-hmm. An RFC. I wonder if there's an RFC for face over IP. I'm gonna have a look.
I think it's F over IP. I think F over IP. That would be my guess. F over IP. This is I love the smoke trails on this car. On this Ursa, the dust trails from the wheels are pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, a quick search, FOIP at the moment is fax over IP.
Yeah.
So the designation they've used has already been used by somebody else.
Well, maybe FA over IP.
So there's bound to be.
Or FA or face over IP. Maybe that'll just be the one it's called.
Something we need to look into next week, maybe.
I love that big rock to the right. I think that makes it look like a mountain almost, and then it's pretty cool. I'm gonna go check that place out. That's
definitely. Well, I'm certainly not going to be getting rid of my Aquila now, because it's a pretty cool looking ship.
Are you gonna get the 600i?
Nah, it's a load of bollocks. It looks like a bloody speedboat. Sorry, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. So I mean, I'm more of a Drake guy than a.
I think
Origin.
I've got a lot of RSI ships. I like the design of him. Whilst the 600i has obviously had a lot of work put into it, and we're just looking at the concept. I mean, I did pick up a Phoenix to 600i upgrade, but since it's exactly the same ship, pretty much, it's a touch longer, but that's about it. And obviously, it's a bit wider the 600i than the Phoenix. I just can't see me applying it, so I'm probably just going to melt that and use it for something else. But we'll see.
They definitely.
I know.
They definitely. I think I don't even know what the difference is between the two Explorer and the standard one.
It's a module, so the back of the ship is effectively replaced. Although it's not modular, if you know what I mean. So if you have a look at the ship, it's exactly the same. In the exploration variant, the back of it is all the sensors and all the rest of it. But in the standard 600i, the touring version, that's where you've got your pool table and your sofa and your Apollo
the
thingy,
Explorer
whatever.
is more utility, and the touring is more fun.
Yeah, I just hope that when the Phoenix is done, they don't go too heavy on the luxury touring side of it. Because when I went for the Phoenix, I thought it was just going to basically be a tooled up Constellation, but with a little bit of luxury stuff thrown in. What we've got at the moment in the hangar isn't what I was expecting, and I just hope that the redo isn't, the hot tub is literally just stowawayable permanently.
Hopefully.
But I mean, this is cool. I love the way there's obviously nowhere to put any cargo in the Aquila when it's got the. Is
there a place to put cargo in the Ursa? There's no cargo vehicle, is there?
I don't know. Let me have a look and see if the Ursa's got any cargo listed on the specs page.
Because if there's no cargo vehicles, you have to just manually transport everything until the what's the one? Hurricane? No, the one with the
Tumbril.
Tumbril, yeah, the Tumbril Hurricane.
The Cyclone.
Cyclone. Hurricane's the other ship. Cyclone, Terrible Cyclone. That has some cargo space, but I don't think it has a lot. So hopefully the Ursa has some cargo space, because otherwise it makes it kind of redundant. But
I'd expect it to, but I'll have a look now, see if I can find it.
Okay. So this is just everyone getting ready. Looks pretty neat. Don't necessarily need to see this whole thing. Okay, so this one's something I wanted to talk about while you're busy doing that. Where is it? Come on, take off, you silly pup. Come on, fellas, take off. There you go. Okay, so as they pull away here and they look back, the pop-in and the shadow thing is absolutely catastrophic. Hopefully that's just a bug and they can get it fixed. Watch when it turns around now. When the camera switches to look at the front, to look backwards in a second, I think it is. There. See, look at all those shadows on the mountains at the top left. And then watch them change. And then change back. And then...
It's Alpha, dude. They'll fix that.
Yeah, they gotta. I mean, that looks atrocious. I mean, the rest.
Yeah,
of
but
the
again,
pop-in, the rest of the pop-in from like the higher orbit was way better, like phenomenally good. I thought.
No, I mean, yeah, it's not ideal, but this isn't the finished article. They'll fix that.
Yeah,
I'm still looking. There's so many extra bloody ships now. It's ridiculous trying to find the right one. Oh, here we go. Structural. Yeah, the Ursa can do 4 cargo units.
Does that mean you lose like seats in them?
No, you might not be able to use the jump seats in the back.
Yeah.
But you should still be able to walk past it.
Okay.
What's the standard Cyclone?
The cargo cyclone.
Yeah, which one's that? That's the
space is
the Cyclone can only carry 1.
Okay.
So it's got 4 times as much carrying capacity.
So it's worth having an Ursa, which means I might have to get an Ursa. God damn it.
Yeah. Hey, haven't any of your ships got one? Oh no, you've got the Caterpillar, haven't you?
I got all Drake stuff. I'm pure
Right.
Drake. Except for the Saber.
Let's have a look. I might be able to help you out with that. Let me see.
I can always upgrade a Nox.
Oh yeah, true. I mean, how many Noxes have you got?
4.
Yeah, I'm not even going to look. Upgrade one of your Noxes, dude. Can you do it now? I don't think it's actually in the CCU. No, it's not. That's one of the things I was quite surprised at. Look how cool that looks.
The space looks
what do you call it?
cooler.
What did Chris call it? The space furnishing or something?
Yeah.
But it does look good.
That planetoid looks amazing.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Looks good.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. The shadows from higher orbits, like here, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Like, that is basically... I don't know how much better that could actually get. I don't even know, to be honest. But that is really, really groundbreaking. But
yeah, when you imagine that it's all procedural generated, or at least most of it is, that looks cool. Looks really, really cool.
It looks handcrafted, which is, I mean, they're procedurally assisted. That's what they want to call it.
I mean, I think Chris said that, I don't know if we'll be able to see it now, but on the left-hand side,
right.
There was a big crater, and he said the entire play world of Skyrim fits in that one crater.
Right.
Which was
mind-blowing.
Yeah. Pretty
so
crazy.
Here's the cut. This is the cut. They just made the cut switch. So this is and arrive.
This is the working version.
Yes. Now we're into the second half of it where they actually went correct.
Still think that looks incredible.
Daymar. It does. Daymar looks. That's what I'm talking about. From higher orbits, their technology to like LOD, basically LOD tech is just for groundbreaking as far as I'm concerned. There's very little pop in until you get really, really close, and I think even that they could probably tweak and fix.
Mm-hmm. I love the detail on the Aquila itself. The external detail is really good. I prefer that color to the
The white? I prefer that color to
No,
the
not.
white.
Yeah, I prefer that color to the Andromeda,
No.
which is white. Yeah, you're right, or grey or whatever it is.
Yeah. So that is phenomenal. I think the camera, the person who's doing the cameras needs to learn that we want to see the planet. We don't really want to see the guys. Yeah, like there you go. Wow, that's those craters. I wonder how big those craters are.
I don't know, man, but it's. I think this is the biggest. This is actually a planetoid, isn't it? Whereas
No,
the
this
others
is a
are
moon.
moons.
This is a moon.
Oh, this is the.
This is Daymar.
It's the biggest one, isn't it? Daymar?
Yeah, it's about the size of Texas. Apparently.
Oh, an awful lot drier than Texas right now.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's okay.
Yes. So yeah, it's about the size of Texas based on the sort of the reclaimer video that they did, and they kind of extrapolated the size of the reclaimer and went out and did like reclaimers. How many reclaimers does it take to span around the entire moon? And then they figured out, so it's like about the size of Texas-ish. Maybe it's even bigger. I don't know. But I mean, even the size of Texas is freaking big.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. This is the re-entry
graphics.
Re-entry graphics. That looks pretty cool, and it folds around the ship shields, and you get those little trails too, which is quite cool.
So if you enter without shields on, then you could be in trouble.
I don't know. I'm not sure if they've actually if they're gonna model that, or whether they just assume that the ships are made out of something that can withstand the heat.
You could definitely see there was a little pop in there, but it was so negligible, but it was barely noticeable.
Yeah,
it's really good.
You're a lot harsher than me, dude. I was expecting stuff like that to come in.
I am harsher. I expect perfection. Oh dear. No, but it looks really good. I was very impressed. I am. I didn't think they'd be able to get rid of the pop in, because like the pop in on No Man's Sky is just catastrophically bad. Even like on like other games I played, like Black Desert, the pop in is terrible on that, and so it's one of my biggest problems with video games is pop in.
Takes you out of the game, doesn't it?
It does. It completely breaks the immersion of the game. It's like I'm supposed to be in this world, and then this guy appears right in front of my face, right, like 20 feet from me. I'm like, come on now. That's why I think the face over IP is pretty cool, because it brings you into the game as well. If you can look at the guy and he's talking to you and it looks like he's talking to you and you're hearing a voice, and that kind of brings you into the game even further, which is probably the reason they did it, to be honest with you.
And you can also tell whether the person you're talking to is getting annoyed as well.
Right, exactly. You can tell
because of their
angry,
facial
if
expression
they're happy,
change.
if they're sad, if they're surprised. It adds so much more dimension to the sort of universe, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, crikey. I wouldn't let him park my ship. Christ.
Clipping.
That's probably because he landed too quick.
Yeah.
I think I'd get some clipping if I landed my ship that quickly as well. Well, it might not bounce out.
Yes, it might end up with like struts broken off or something.
Yeah, I've just noticed as well, and I can't believe I didn't notice the first time, none of the turrets in the Aquila are actually deployed. So that pretty much confirms that you can choose to stow them, because at the moment you can't do that in the Andromeda. Which is good, because it looks bloody silly when they're just flapping about and nobody's using them.
Yeah, it does. That's something you've been talking about for ages, so that's good to see.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how it's definitely people seem to think that the sort of thought interaction system was a bit cumbersome, but hopefully they'll sort of iron out the issues.
Yeah, I guess it's just like there'll be areas around the object where the interaction will appear. They'll sort that out when they're going through QA. But that animation was pretty cool. The guy getting into the seat and just shuffling over.
Yeah. I did notice that they have some trouble going through doorways in the Ursa. Oh, there's the Ursa. It's stuck in the midair.
Yeah, I didn't see that the first time round either, but yeah, it happens.
It's bugs, man. It's fine. I mean, I think, to be honest, they could probably release this to Evocati as it is, in my opinion. Based on the
I love the Ursa. I think that's such a well-designed thing. And I love the subtle sound as well. If you listen really closely, I think they've taken a bit of an audio hint from the APC from Aliens.
Yeah.
It's just under the surface. You can just make it out.
There you go. Oh, did you?
Do you see on? Go on.
I just noticed something. I'm going to go back a second.
Okay.
No, not driving. I want to get just before she gets into the thing. Yeah. No, back a tiny bit more. Come on now. There you go.
Stay on target.
Okay, so the light's red. Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to see if the light is red. Yeah. No, it's not. I thought it was like a pressurization thing, but it's not.
Oh, okay. Did you see on the Twitch stream where without the engine, without the ship on, all the lights inside are off, and then when you power it on, it turned the lights on? I thought that looked really cool. Sort of little details which sets this apart from anything else for me.
Yeah, it is. The head cams, apparently they want to put lights in the helmets as well, better lights, and that was in the breakdown this week. Which I don't know.
I haven't seen that yet. That was terrible of me. I should have watched that, but I've been pretty busy this weekend so far. I shall watch it afterwards. Bit pointless now, but there we go.
But I'll go over it slightly with the
cool.
With the
I'll pretend I heard it all. I already know.
Basically, I think they got dropped. They're down to 67 issues now, but 22 reduction, only 3 added. So,
hey, that's good going.
Yeah. They've done the main branch now, so the dev team's on the main branch. So I think everything's just going to sort of snowball. It's going to end up being like 30 one week, and then it's just going to snowball. I think in like 2-3 weeks, I think they'll be ready for Evocati.
Mm-hmm.
People have been complaining on Reddit though. It won't be ready till December for Evocati. I'm like, really? I mean,
after seeing this, I don't care how long it takes.
Yeah, true, but
I would like to see it sooner rather than later. But if it takes a bit of time before they release it, so be it.
But
remember,
I also don't think they need
testing
to have it perfect for Evocati. Is my point.
Oh yeah, true. But Evocati and PTU are just testing it, right? So people who are complaining, oh, it's not going to be out, it's because they don't want to test it. They just want to play the game, and that's not the point of the ETF or the PTU. People need to remember that.
Yeah. Is he going to get out? There we go.
Yeah. Sorry, it's something that really niggles me a bit is that people forget that they're actually testing it, and hardly anybody.
I don't think any Evocati people do, but I think the PTU people do. So.
Oh no, the ETF members do know what they're doing because they wouldn't be there otherwise, and they'd be cut. They'd get cut after the first ETF build that they try if they didn't actually do their job. This is pretty cool. I like the way you can. I hope you can actually have quick slots, so you just press one.
There are loadouts just you can set. Apparently, he said during earlier part of it, you could set a loadout for and you can just.
This looks awesome. The way that the actual animation on that was nicely done.
The shadow looks a bit weird. Like you can barely see the detail on the top half of that thing. It's like
I remember it looking better the first time I saw it.
Yeah, it looks a little I think the textures are off or the shadowing is off. So because basically it's blacked out at the top half of the gun.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh, his visor had a slightly different tint to it.
Yeah, either that or there's just a slight difference in graphics settings between the two machines.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Because there's definitely bluer. This guy's is definitely a bluer tint, but he's wearing that blue suit. Maybe the blue suit has a blue tint.
Yeah, maybe.
Man,
I was expecting him to get ambushed from the rear portion of the caterpillar. They totally ignored. Maybe that's what's supposed to happen. I don't know. Oh no, because now
there's some loot there you could steal. Looks like
loot. Does look good though, doesn't it? How they've actually seen there. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna really enjoy going on Daleks and just sort of peeking around corners and stuff.
We're probably going to spend a lot of time just randomly searching for stuff like that, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, and there's the light. And I love that she says, like, she's halfway up the stairs and she says, there's some stairs over here. Roleplay fail. It's like, yeah, you're on them. We know there's stairs because you're on them.
Halfway up the stairs.
Okay, there's the item.
Oh, it's the big red box. I thought that was a bit too obvious. I was hoping to see them pull it out of its housing and then just run off with it, but whatever. It's it's on the floor. And I think that person knocked it around as well when they walked past it.
He did, yeah. Oh, it's invisible.
Yeah, but it does look good though from this perspective. The way that he's holding the box is, it looks real, doesn't it?
Except for you would have your hands curl around the box, but I don't know if that's technically going to be possible. You wouldn't have to hold it like this.
Unless you've got magnets on your palms of your hands and the gloves.
You would hold it like this or underneath or...
Oh, you wouldn't want magnets, would you? Because you'd end up wiping the black box. Got it. Oh, shit.
I don't think they have magnetic drives anymore, buddy. I think they passed that tech. And they're using flash drives at the basic least.
Yeah, true.
So...
This is funny.
They're not in the 90s.
They've lost it. It's like, where's he gone? Oh, he's gone the other way. Shit.
Okay.
So I was looking at this. I can imagine that when this finished and everybody were allowed to do mods, with the tech they've got in here, I wonder who's going to be the first person to do an Aliens mod for this. Because the lighting's so good that it could be easily made into a horror game.
Okay, let's just move this along. Okay, now they're off. They're on board and everyone's good to go.
Look at the dirt on the suit.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah, and the mask. She's got a bit dirty. Wonder how you clean that off, whether it's just time based or whether it's
maybe if you go into one of those
airlocks.
Decontamination airlocks things, it'll just clean you off.
Poor guy in his Aquila gets destroyed.
Yeah, John's going to be disappointed if they actually got back there. You're making my ship dirty. But he's got bigger things to worry about.
It takes a while to get off the ground, doesn't he? He's probably drinking a beer or something.
Or John was in the John.
Yeah. That'd be annoying if you have to go to the bathroom and the ship gets destroyed while you're on the toilet.
Yeah. Nice explosions.
Yeah, and the Idris was good.
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting to see that either. It's a lot further on than I thought. I thought they would sandbagging a lot because they just hadn't got there, but it's pretty much done from what we saw. Boom. Sad panda.
Yeah, poor Aquila. Overall, pretty good. I like that.
Oh, this is quick.
Make a phone call. Ask for help. Like Chris was like, "Yeah, ask for help, guys. Ask for help, guys. Ask for help, guys." Took him like 2 minutes for them to get that done. So, and when they landed the Idris, though, I mean, they definitely have some issues with landing pads, driving ramps and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not a surprising thing. The thing's bloody massive.
Yeah. I mean, this is sort of emergent gameplay, but...
Yeah, it just... you know what? I really hope that if you've got zero throttle in an atmosphere, you start to drop.
Yeah, they definitely...
Because it's no different than being in space, or at least it doesn't seem to from looking at it.
It doesn't seem to be any different than space. It is a concern.
One of the streamers, I've forgotten who it was now, the guy with the red cap, I apologize, I don't really know the names that well. He said that it does feel different in the atmosphere, so we've only got that to go for. But it just doesn't seem like you shouldn't be able to just stop. As far as I know, anti-gravity isn't something that these ships have.
No, they have thrusters. They're basically like carrier jump jets, basically. And what's that? They have Raptor. The Raptor has jump jets, like a hovering ability, but it's not like instantaneous. The acceleration is a bit crazy too. If you're stopping and you're just immediately at like Mach 3 or something like that.
Yeah, we also don't know what the gravity is on.
Well, it doesn't look that bad. It looks like maybe 0.5, if that. But even so, I mean, there's an atmosphere.
Sure, but that would have an effect, wouldn't it? We're criticizing it because it doesn't look real, but then that's probably because we're trying to think that it's like Earth and have 1G, but maybe it's a lot lighter than that. But anyway, it looks cool. I like the way that the canopy on the Gladiator ripples everything as it goes around it.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
And then here comes the Idris.
Yeah, I was like, is that a reclaimer?
I thought it was a reclaimer. I thought it was a reclaimer for ages.
At this point, I thought, no, that's an Idris because of the nose on it and the huge, bloody huge gun.
Well, it could have been the claw. It could have been the claw. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That thing is massive.
Yeah, it's ridiculously huge.
I can't imagine like the javelin landing on.
Yeah. I don't know how much bigger it is than the Idris, but it is bigger.
Oh, it's way bigger. The javelin. Yeah.
Can you land an Idris in the javelin?
No, I don't think so. I think you can land a Polaris in the javelin.
Oh, yeah, you can land an Idris in a Bengal, I think.
Yeah. That would be crazy.
I just noticed I was going through my buybacks and my upgrades. I've got a $0 upgrade from a Phoenix to a Reclaimer, which I didn't know I had.
That's useful.
Yeah, it is, but we'll
I
see.
wonder if they're going to surprise us with the Reclaimer into.
Don't know. Maybe
I think
it looks done from an asset perspective, but has it got a flight model that works or damage states and whatever?
Yeah, and damage states. Yeah, and yeah. Oh, there's a ship. You can see that ship flying in there. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty. From this point, it's quite hard to tell how big. You know, it's big, but you don't really know how big it is until it lands, and you're like, "Gee, crikey, that's massive!" And everybody who had an Idris, because I had concierge chat on one side whilst I was watching it, were like literally losing their shit. The people who've got Idrises were like, "Oh my god," because it does look cool, doesn't it? You have to give it that.
It looks a bit weird with the thrusters down, but yeah, it looks way better when it's like in full tilt mode with the legs up and the engines forward.
Looks pretty aggressive from that aspect, though, doesn't it?
It looks a little like the Reclaimer like this, but
yeah,
a big ass Reclaimer. And watch.
They got an.
I like the smoke. That's good. That's good. And
they got a bit of animations and also some depression from the landing gear too. I noticed.
Yeah, a little bit. I think the
good.
guy was definitely taking it a little easy. Much better landing than the guy who was doing the Andromeda.
You could have an earthquake if you landed that thing that hard.
And
yeah, I think they needed to actually get that on a complete flat, and obviously, it being completely live, they can't just make it land wherever. See, off to the right probably would have been a bit better because it's flatter. But
yeah. They're trying to land on a mountain. It's not really helping very much.
No.
And plus, they did actually get it underneath they clipped it through the through the floor, and then that was, I think, what screwed it up. So, come on now. Let's go back a bit, but not much.
Yeah, so that'd have been. Oh, yeah, you go. So the at this point the Earth has been squished.
Yes.
by the ramp.
By the ramp.
The ramp.
Oh no, here it is. It's about to go.
Oh no, here we go. Oh yeah.
It's about to go. And boom. They skipped over that. Cut.
Yeah. But I mean, ramps have been lethal all the way through Gamescom. You know, you had people like wiping out on the ramp because they were taken off too early and stuff like that.
Why is there dust coming through the floor?
Yeah, clipping.
Yeah.
I wonder why he jumped over that. Maybe there's an issue going between the ramp and the main ship that they still need to work on.
Yeah, I think there is.
It would explain why the Ursa had such a hard time going up there.
No, it's maybe it's when you enter the separate gravity section, you know, the sort of interior section of the ship.
Yeah, did you notice those little weird blue Star Wars atmosphere shields?
Yeah.
Right at the back?
Mm-hmm. Did. He had to take off the railgun because Chris so told him to, because it was bugging out on his back. It was like freaking out, and it was probably going to cause a crash. So he had to take it off.
The railgun is a world killer, it would seem. So I think that's what it was that made
that thing moves really
one
quickly for what it is, the size of it. I don't know that the door should be moving it like that fast, but yeah.
No, you'd expect it to be a bit slower, wouldn't you? Because
you would.
It's a big bit of metal.
Maybe they have just awesome hydraulics in the future.
Well, I suppose, given that it gives potential attacker access to the inside of the ship, making it close quicker would probably be quite useful.
Maybe. They also have shields. Maybe you could like make them live. Prevent people as a barrier.
I like the color they've chosen for the exterior of that.
The
It
yellow.
looks quite good. Yeah, I like the combination of dark gray, gunmetal gray, and yellow. It looks good.
And now we're gonna be. I don't think that in this video there's the Idris fight, and I may have to get off this podcast soon. So I think we'll maybe do that next time.
Yeah, because they had the first bit, didn't they? And then they did it again. But I didn't actually watch the reset combat bit. And I just noticed here that down in the picture-in-picture bit, you got the guy running through the inside of the.
Yeah, they should have
Idris
had
trying
it
to
the
get
other way
there.
around. They should have had the exterior
Yeah,
in the
I
top.
totally missed that the first time round. I'll have to watch it again because it just goes to show how big the thing is. Because I was obviously concentrating on watching the Idris flying away rather than actually watching the guy running through the inside.
Okay.
It's a whole lot of ship for the people who picked up one of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend $1,000 on a ship.
Yeah. Yeah, but some of those people, as you've probably known now that you're in the chat, that money isn't an object to them at all.
Yeah, but whatever. So how much longer is left on this thing? There's about 10 minutes. Oh, so they probably skipped ahead here. So they're having a little discussion, and then in comes the Idris.
Yeah. This is after they brought the person who died in the Ursa back from the dead.
Yes, basically. So then, where is this comlink established? So they're talking to the other Idris. Where is it? I'm going to turn the volume on.
Can't see it yet.
Well, I guess you're gonna have to come and get it then. I prefer that anyway.
Yes, they are. There.
Let's
It's just
get
we
out
can't see
there.
them. I did notice the frames dropped quite considerably when the fight was going on, but a lot of network stuff going on at that point.
Yeah. And, two of these things with this much going on. Look at the size of that railgun. That's ridiculous.
Here comes the ships. Nice. I guess it comes with a couple of Gladiuses, looks like.
I think the Gladius is obviously the ship that they're going to have.
Buccaneer.
Yeah.
This is not much you can see there. It's hard to see anything.
No, I think it comes back to what you said, is that obviously it does have some kind of cinematic camera, but it does need a bit of tweaking.
Yeah, because you barely see what's going on. I mean, the ship's either in the shadow of you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you can see the railguns,
Look at
John.
the
I
turrets.
think
The
I think it's
turrets
hit
firing.
a couple of times.
Turrets.
This in a minute is pretty cool, though.
When they dodge each other.
Yeah.
I did notice in the second one, when they actually did run into each other, it didn't really impact like it should. There was no physics really. It was just they just kind of like stopped.
Boing.
Yeah, like rubber, basically like two bouncy balls bouncing into each other. There's the
Yeah,
frame
it's
slow
quite-
down,
Yeah.
and
But it looks like that was only on that one machine, though, because they swapped it to the other
well,
perspective.
I think it's because there were two Idrises on the screen. I think that's why on that one it was slowed down, because the shadows are all there. LODs, and they were close up and they were high detail. Ah, that thing looks.
Maybe.
They're gonna spin it around. That thing does move like a boat, though. Look at it. The turning.
Yeah, you'd
radius.
expect it to. It's massive.
Boom, boom. Here it comes. It gets a big explosion.
Wow. That's pretty impressive right there, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, this is-
Better than some movies.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay.
Look at the bits. There's actually damage states on an Idris.
Turrets look a little better, I noticed, but they don't look awesome at the moment. They definitely need
Better
more.
than they used to be.
Oh, way better than they used to be. I'd say
They need some sort of tracking assistant on
Yeah, they do.
assist on the turrets, because there's no way anybody's going to be able to track in 6 degrees of freedom whilst you can't actually know what. I mean, obviously in World War II bombers, you're pretty much going to be going straight up or down, right?
Right.
You're not going to be doing a lot of flips. Whereas in Star Citizen, they're going to be rolling and all the rest of it. You need to have some sort of, dare I say, auto aim to help
They can pivot
keep it on
a
target.
dime as well, can't they? On these ones. In planes, you have to like fly in circles, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas these ones, you can just like flip and then boost and just turn around on a dime.
There you go. You can see bits blown off the enemy address there. Notice they cut away from that pretty quick. I can't remember this bit. Is this after they reset it, do you think?
No, maybe.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think they did that. So, yeah, overall, I'd say it was a pretty good presentation. I definitely enjoyed the Idris fight. I think it's definitely not in 100. It's definitely not going to see it anytime soon. I don't think.
No, it reiterates that you're right, I think, about Squadron. We're not going to see it this year, not yet.
No
But
way.
that is nice. I do like that. And when you saw it, saw the two Gladiuses landed, it was quite nice to see. And apparently they can actually, there's a lift there, and they can actually be taken down to be fixed into like but I can't quite work out how that would work. But yeah, it's a much bigger ship than you think. You have to watch that picture to actually see just how big it is.
Looks like they got internal gravity sections fixed for the ships landing in other ships, which is good.
Yeah, they don't rattle around anymore.
Yeah, like shaking.
Yeah, that's worse than pop-ups for me. If something doesn't contact and stay there, then it's just like, well, it's obviously not actually there, you know?
Yeah. There we go. You should close the door, buddy.
Yeah. They need to find a way of, I don't know, having the ramp bit open so a ship can get in, but not have the ramp coming out, because the plane's not going to need the ramp, is it? Unless it well, maybe it does actually help it, guide the ship in. So maybe that's why it's there. I don't know. Is this the reset?
Yeah.
I like the railgun shots. They look pretty cool. I wonder how many, hundreds of thousands of UEC each shot is costing from that railgun.
Watch here now. They're going to hit each other.
Oh. That big hole he just did in the front arm of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going to hit each other. And he blows up because of it, I think.
Ramming speed! Oh. Did you see one of the Buccaneers bounce off the top of it?
Yeah, see?
There you go. Yeah. Too much force.
Yeah. They didn't realistically collide with each other, but yeah, because it should have been like an immediate stop, not a sort of gentle bounce.
Yeah. But I do like the explosions. They are really nice.
That one didn't have quite the sizable explosion as the other one, but yeah, it was real cool though. Okay, so let's switch over to... Where are you? Where's Chrome? Come on. There it is, production schedule. Okay, switch over. Okay, so the schedule reports, basically, they did, pretty good overall. I guess they haven't updated it on this one. So yeah, they did. So basically, this is the important one. So basically, they're down to 67. They're heading in the right direction. So, yeah. It was good. They solved 22 problems and only added 3. So, I mean, that's pretty good. The fact that they only added 3, I think, is actually the biggest part of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, they had 12. They had 12 blockers last week, and they've only got 7 now.
Yeah, I don't
So
like that.
that's really good.
It is. I think. Where's this thing going? Come on now. There it is. Next tab. Back to that one. So yeah, so it's definitely coming along. They list all the bugs that were fixed. Not really much other information changed other than that. Daymar is the planet. Dalamar is the planetoid. So yeah, I mean
Potatoes. It's quite very close.
it is. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. I mean, what is this one? Entity. Can't even see it. Cockpit experience improvements. That's what the thing that's delayed slightly. You can't really see it with the white. So cockpit experience improvements, I guess. That's a big deal. And then they got the item 2.0. Got the persistent damage, code repair, hint system. The hint system was actually pretty good, I thought. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be rubbish, but it wasn't too bad.
Well, it's effectively their tutorial, so they got to nail it, haven't they?
Yeah, I was impressed with it. There's not a whole lot in this schedule report other than the bugs, really, because that's the thing we really need to be looking at every week is just this thing. Can they get rid of once they get rid of the blockers, and then, the blockers are the most important ones. I think personally, once they get rid of the blockers and the criticals, they should just release to Evocati, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, because the Evocati can help them test the issues they know they already have.
Right.
As well as find new ones.
Yes.
Because the blockers are the big ones. The critical ones, the Evocati can help with. But, that's just our opinion.
Right. I think, hopefully, we're going to see them get it down to maybe in the sub 50 next week. And then, what's this, sub 50, then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is realistic. I definitely don't think that we will be seeing it last until December, which some people said.
What, released into the PU itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how quickly the PTU gets rid of the other bugs which are there.
Yeah. Well, we got Citizen Con coming. I wonder what they're going to do for that. If they, I think they got to get it out before Citizen Con, in my opinion, because then they can preview 3.1 then. Maybe do alcohol preview or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see procedural cities, that sort of stuff. Or maybe even the first planetary flyby of Crusader, with the rest of it being procedurally generated. Because that'd be pretty cool. Because obviously, what we've seen so far with the barren, apart from Levski moons and planetoids, seeing an actual planet with an atmosphere would be something we've not seen.
Like foliage, fauna and flora would be nice too. So maybe they'll do something like that, a jungle map or something.
That could be one of the 26 mission types, couldn't it? You see, it'd be like bloody Warcraft. Go and kill 20 of these weird womp rat things.
Please, none of those quests.
And bring me their bodies. I think we've all seen enough of those, but it would actually be quite funny if they added it in just because of just for the lols.
For the lols, yeah.
Yeah,
just for so funny. I would be laughing my ass off. Not.
Oh man, I'm
tired of killing 20 rats. Okay, I've done killing 20 rats. No more 20 kills.
yeah, we've all done that enough, I think. But stuff like that might be in there. You never know.
Yeah, probably, hopefully not, but maybe, yeah. Anyway, so I think we're going to call this done because I got to go do some stuff. We're doing it weekly now, so we can always, well, at least for the moment, we are doing it weekly. We can always go through other things we've missed next week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll keep up the weekly until there's not enough content for us to do it weekly, which is the reason why it stopped last time.
Right. I think Citizen Con is coming in, was it middle of October? I think it was last year.
I don't know, Let's Google it and find out.
Yeah. Citizen Con. Both Googling. And there we go. I'll let you do it, actually.
No, hang on. 27th of October.
Wow, it's late this year. Okay.
The Capitol Theatre in Frankfurt.
They
I'm
do
not
all
even
their
going to
cool
attempt.
stuff in
I'm not even.
Germany.
I'm not going to pronounce. Don't try and pronounce that because I'll ruin it. But yeah, I mean, I could probably see if I could get get to go there, but all the tickets have sold out. So
Maybe next year.
yeah, maybe next year. There's so many things that I could have gone to, both professionally for what I do for a living, and obviously Star Citizen, which I could do. And I keep saying maybe next year. Never happens.
Yeah. Well, I could go to Comic-Con and I never do.
No, because you'd end up buying loads and loads and loads of stuff you don't need. Because that's what I'd do if I went to Comic-Con. It'd be awful. I'd end up having to take 2 additional suitcases just for the crap I bring back.
Yeah.
I'll never be a millionaire because I'll always spend it on stuff I don't need.
Well, like if you were a millionaire, you'd end up like buying like a really cool boat or something.
No, it would be something like limited edition one-off things from bloody places like what's the name of that company that makes all the really cool reproduction like stuff?
Oh, my back hurts.
Oh, I can't remember anyway. But yeah, that would be awful. Like a 1-to-1 scale bloody Iron Man suit for the entrance hallway or something like that. There's absolutely no use, but it's cool, so I'd buy it.
Okay.
But I think, to be honest, just to close this out, it was a good week. The presentation had issues, yes, but they made up for it. We saw a lot of cool stuff we weren't expecting. Face over IP, which they're going to have to change the name for because somebody's already nicked it. I just didn't see that coming. That was a complete surprise, and it really will add.
Surprise, actually.
Yeah, it'll add a whole new level of gaming when you can actually put your own facial expressions in the game. I mean, it's been done before. I mean, I think in EverQuest 2 allowed you to do that, but this is a whole level of detail which we haven't seen before. And obviously, given the fact that the actors that they've scanned in, to the nth degree with all of the folds and all the rest of it, it will look legit.
They should allow you to like. I wonder if they have a feature sometime in the future for you to scan your face and then have to put your face into the game.
Scan your mug.
Scan your mug, and it's like
maybe
like, just like they did with all the actors, So.
To be honest with you, I think anybody who's in concierge should have the opportunity to go and have your face scanned in. And you can actually give it to you on a disc or email it to you, and then you can stick it into the game. You still have to make your own way to get to a place to actually get it done, but anyone who's backed it to the level we have should be given that opportunity.
Yeah, well, I think that'd be kind of a neat feature. You
cool.
Could even pay pay a certain amount because it's going to take like a bunch of guys a lot of time. So you probably have to contribute something to it. But I don't know.
Exactly. But that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? A 1-to-1 representation of yourself in the game, and I would then be able to see what I would look like if I went to the gym every day. Okay. I think on that note, let's leave it till next week.
Yeah. Well, we'll go over some of actually next week I want to go over some of the things in the day 1, day 2, and day 3 playthroughs that they were doing on the map. There's a few things in there which are pretty interesting, like the one where they're falling through the cutlass and comes out the side door.
Yeah, and the actual final one they did this morning where they actually caught him.
Oh, they did.
And he stayed in there, which was cool.
And they really need to fix those animations, though. Those falling animations. Seriously.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like he's doing the infinite triple jump.
Yeah.
Oh, radio. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share it with your mates. Watch us next week. Give us feedback both on Twitch and YouTube, and if there's anything specific you want us to cover, let us know and we'll do what we can.
What he said.
Take it easy.
So take it easy, guys. Take it easy.